Wichita, Kansas connection to this game, but Tom Brady, we know, is from California, San Mateo, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, that's right.
Here he is going back for a pass, and he finds his guy, Mike Evans.
So good.
Could you be a Hall of Famer and also be criminally underrated? That's Mike Evans in a nutshell. Unbelievable catch. Man, did they miss him when they didn't have him last week. Leonard Fournette was on the field as well. Let's see, Leonard gets in there. The running game was back after a week of being absent against the Chiefs. Buccaneers, they grinded this out. They were up early after a 2-point conversion. They would score here. They would get a 21-0 lead in this game, and career-high 10 receptions for Leonard Fournette against the big head.
It's pretty cool.
There we go.
Imagine that person brought that to the game.
Like, I'm gonna give it, and Leonard actually holds it.
Thrilled.
All right, so then the Falcons do what the Falcons do. They come all the way back. They've been such a fun team to watch this season because they don't quit.
Yep.
That is our guy, Tyler Algier, doing a spin move and Avery Williams, getting into the end zone. Touchdown. Falcons start marching back. It's 21-7. Then we get the short pass here.
Yeah.
And it's now
Let's go.
21-13. Do we go for two? We do go for two. They would get the two.
Hey,
Art Smith's happy. It's 21-15. All the pressure's on Brady. Then we get to this play. 3rd and 5, 3 minutes left. Grady Jarrett, great sack. Falcons are going to get the ball back. Woo! They're going to have a chance to avenge a lot. Wait, what? A roughing the passer call. Arthur Smith is all of us. That reaction. Falcons wouldn't get a shot. Game's over. 21-15. Buccaneers win that game. Afterwards, Todd Bowles was asked if he thought Tom Brady got a little Tom Brady treatment. Here's what Todd Bowles had to say.
I don't know. You know, I saw that one being called. I saw it against Tua since he got it. I saw it in the London game this morning. So, you know, I think they're starting to crack down on some of the things and slinging back. So I don't know. Right now, the way they're calling it, I think a lot of people would have got that call.
What did you think of that play? Had you been lobbying or asking for some late hits there? Or?
I don't throw the flags.
He can do a lot, but he doesn't throw the flags. Here is what Jerome Boger, the referee who called it, said to a pool reporter after the game. What I had was the defender grab the quarterback while he was still in the pocket and, here's the key word, unnecessarily throwing him to the ground. That is what I was making my decision based upon. To me, the spicy word there is unnecessarily throwing him to the ground. Peter, let's start with you and your takeaway from how that game ended.
Multiple issues with this, nationwide. For you get the Tom Brady treatment. Does he get star treatment? Would that have been called if that was Baker Mayfield? Would that have been called if that was Marcus Mariota? I don't know. My issue is it's 3rd and 5, and this team had come back from 15 points, and now they're marching, and Grady Jarrett is making a clean football play to get to the quarterback. And in the heat of the moment, does he throw him aggressively? I guess you can interpret yes. Does it seem unnecessary the way he did it, though? That's what Boger says, unnecessarily threw him to the ground. I didn't interpret it that way, and I think Arthur Smith was all of us who were just looking for a dramatic finish to this game. The Falcons had fought all the way back from 21-0. They scored 15 straight. This sack would ensure they get the ball and a chance to get it. You go into the history where Grady Jarrett was in the Super Bowl, had 3 sacks and loses after 28-3. I look at this thing, and can I see what Arthur Smith's reactions were? Because I think this is it. It's not anger. It's just like dismay, like, gosh, like, Of course, there's some anger in that. And afterwards, Art actually took the high road and did not bash the officials and was like, that's just what they called. I can't control it. But you're the Falcons here, and you win 2 straight games. Imagine you win this game. You're 3-2. And you beat them in Tampa, and you just came back from 21-0. It's all for naught because of that flag. They didn't lose the game because of the flag, and yet if the flag wasn't thrown, we don't know if they necessarily wouldn't have won it.
I know. He didn't necessarily throw him to the ground. He pulled him to the ground. That is what a tackle is. It's physics and gravity, and you pull the person down. I understand when officials miss calls. There's 22 players. They're moving very fast. You miss a call, fine. This was not a missed call. He's standing there looking right at it, had the vision, had the optics, made the decision to throw it, and then afterwards, the strange explanation. I always wish that there would be something where they just said, look, I blew it. I apologize to the Falcons. I got the call wrong. I am human. I am sorry. They don't do that. Or even if you had said, you know what? I saw the Tua Tagovailoa situation, and the optics reminded me of it, and I reached for my flag, and I was trying to protect the quarterback. I understand that completely, but this thing about the unnecessarily, and you know what really bothers me? Falcons have won 2 in a row. Bucs have lost 2 in a row. I will tell you right now, I have a really good chance that penalty may keep the Falcons out of the playoffs or may get the Bucs into the playoffs. That is a big one. That is not something in the second quarter that blah, blah, blah. That decided the game. I don't care about the other factors. That was a rough call. And you want to know why Tom Brady's in the league this long? Guys, it's not because he hydrates, okay? I'd like to tell you it's that. It's because he's Tom Brady and someone... You think, I don't know if Aaron Rodgers is getting that call. I don't know if Mahomes is getting it. I think Tom Brady is. That's frustrating, too.
No doubt about it. And I think for me, I can remember playing in Tennessee. We're playing against the Cleveland Browns. I get a late interception, return it to maybe touchdown goal line or whatever, comes back on an illegal contact. We come in Monday. Ken Wisenhunt, our head coach at the time, stands up in front, says, hey, I got a letter. They said they blew this call. It shouldn't have been an illegal contact. Should have been an interception. We should have had the ball. Arthur Smith's going to come in today. He's going to address the team. Whether he says it or not, I don't know. But he probably got a memo, got a message, email, however they send it, and it's just like, hey, we blew that call. Shouldn't have been a roughing the passer. Should have been you guys' ball. You should have had an opportunity to win the game. Does absolutely nothing on a Monday. You still lost, like you just said. That may play a huge role later down the season. But it's the explanation. I agree. Unnecessarily, it's a tackle. The only other thing is he lets him go and Brady remains up and possibly completes the pass. So you have to tackle him. The game of football is bring him to the ground. And I don't know how else he would have done it. These defensive linemen are 300 pounds. Like, I'm just tackling them. I'm not unnecessarily, I'm just dragging them to the ground. So that, you hate to see a game in that way, especially one that was coming down to the wire. And fans, everybody, they're just like, why? Like, what is going on? And like you said, Arthur Smith after said, hey, I just want to know why this is so I can coach it and teach it the right way so we don't end up in this explanation. What can I tell Garrett? Like, hey, this is what you should do instead of doing that. I think every coach is like, I have no idea how to coach that.
Yeah, the very buzzy word I felt like to say 10 years ago was like a football play. And when someone would catch a ball and like, did he make a football play? And that means he retained possession. And then was it a fumble or whatever? Like, that was a football play. And if you're going to start to redefine how you're meant to tackle, then we have a different conversation going on. If we watch the play again, and this is what's the worst about plays like this and calls like this, is that you watch it back, you watch it in slow motion, you pause it, you do. And so when he starts to turn, what is he supposed to do? Just pull him back? It doesn't make sense. And to Kyle's point, it's like the laws of physics, the way his body was moving. Tom Brady is a long, limby guy. I also think he kind of flung his arms in a way that made it look, you know, bit of a soccer flop there, if you will. And then you're the referee, and then Tom Brady comes over and kind of stands over your shoulder.
Sure does.
It's like,
Sure does.
You got roughing me on that call? You got? Okay, cool, good talk. And then he just walks off. It's like, of course that's what the play was going to be. My goodness. That was a football play.
The back judge is right there, and he doesn't throw the flag. Like, that's what I'm...
There did seem to be a conference afterwards in which Brady involved himself and kind of chimed in. And, like, that's tough. And we've adapted to the whole, you can't land your weight on the guy. And the guys put their arms back, and that was tough at first. What is the adapt to here? Don't pull them down. There needs to be a lot of communication about what happened and what should happen.
Because if he swings him and lets go, and somehow he stays on his feet, then it's just, you're getting crushed in the meeting room for not finishing the play. I have no idea how you
I just think it's a lot of limbs, a lot of Brady limbs.
What do we
coming.
call it?
It looks bad.
Referee radio. It's very easy for us to do.
Let's go to the phones.
And like, we get that. And we're not here, but that's not our show.
One segment.
No
We'll do one segment.
In this case,
human error
controlled the game.
Yeah.